Hi guys. So today for our middle school presentation, where I'll be talking to you guys about how to best cope during a pandemic at home, we're going to be focusing on two different areas. One of them is gratitude. So gratitude is anytime you're thankful for something. It could be waking up in the morning and thinking, I'm grateful to have a bed, I'm grateful to have a home, I am grateful to have my dogs, my friends, my family, I'm grateful to be able to breathe. Those are all things you can be grateful for. So that's gratitude. Generosity is the other thing we're going to talk about today. So generosity is your way of showing others kindness. It does not necessarily have to be a financial burden on you. You don't have to have money to show generous acts of kindness to others. It can be you writing a letter saying, I just want you to know how much of a difference you make in my life, in my day. And so that would uplift them. It could be you taking on a new chore at the house without anyone ever telling you, just because you want your mother or father or family member to feel like if they're supported, and it's one less thing for them to worry about today. Something that brought this on was a letter that I saved for many years that came from my sister. She made this handwritten letter. It's literally on 2 pieces of paper, and it says, congratulations, best of luck. We support every decision you make. Love you. This is probably a 10-year-old note from my sister that I've kept for many years because it made me so happy that day. It was very generous of her to take time to even write those things down, and it made a difference for me personally. So when we talk about generosity and gratitude, it's good to know the benefits of doing these things, right? Like, what am I going to get out of it if I do this? Well, some of the benefits you can get from generosity is it makes you feel physically healthy by reducing your stress and your blood pressure. It makes you happy, an emotional boost by giving you triggers the feeling of good things and chemicals in your brain, like endorphins, dopamine, oxytocin. Those are all chemicals that are released when you do something generous for someone else. Lowers your stress. Who can't use that right now in the middle of a pandemic? Improves relationships with family, friends, strangers, acquaintances, neighbors, and extends our lives. So it makes you live longer the more you practice generosity. Those are just a few of the benefits. For gratitude, it opens a door to more healthier relationships with friends and family members, co-workers, neighbors, classmates. It improves physical health because you feel so happy, because you're grateful more often, you're grounded more often, you're more relaxed. It improves physical health. It improves psychological health because you're like literally telling yourself or writing down all the things you're grateful for. Enhances empathy and reduces aggression because you feel like you are grateful. It lets you be empathetic towards others and consider what they're going through and how they might be struggling and how you could possibly help and what they might be feeling and how that makes you feel. So all of that reduces your aggression naturally because it puts you in another perspective to care for others. It helps you sleep better. We can all use better sleep. Improves self-esteem because you see value in yourself. So when you're grateful, you see the value that you have in this world, in your family, with your friends. Increases mental strength by reducing stress and overcoming trauma. Everyone goes through bad things. And right now with the pandemic, it seems like all we get is bad. We get told where we can't go, how close we can stand with someone, for how long we have to stay indoors. All these things just increase your stress. By showing gratitude to someone in your household or to a neighbor or to the mailman, it'll make you feel happier and make you feel like you still have something to offer, something to be grateful for too. So thinking of all that, we can talk about some of the things that you can do right now in your house that would help you practice either generosity, which again is just you being generous or kind to someone else other than yourself, and gratitude. So I wrote down a few of the things. I'm going to go over them with you. You can write a thank you letter or note or an email. You can decorate it, and you can write down all the reasons you appreciate that person or what you miss about that person or what that person has to offer and why you thought of them. Make your parents or grandparents, if you're all in the same house and you're already isolated together, make them some cookies. Chocolate chip cookies go a long way, or oatmeal, whatever you guys prefer. Do a chore around the house. Don't have anyone ask you. So like, especially if it's a chore you hate, it'll feel really good, because like instead of your mom saying to you, I need you to mop the house, if you just do that without her asking, it's one less thing for her to worry about, one thing she can smile about, one thing she'll tell you I love you, thank you for, and one thing you'll feel better for. So that's how generosity works. It doesn't take money. It's just a little bit of time and effort and will. Something I've been seeing a lot on the news, and I really love it, is people have been collecting like little hand sanitizers and putting them in the mailbox for the mailman with a thank you note. So that goes a long way, or for your trash man, or for a local officer, or a health department worker that might be a neighbor of yours that works at one of those senior living facilities, saying thank you for what you do. You are so brave. I was thinking of you, here's some hand sanitizers. I was thinking of you, here's some chocolate chip cookies. That would make anybody happy. Prepare a meal or gather some leftovers after dinner that maybe you made a lot of food. Put them in some Tupperware. Call up your local homeless shelter and ask them how you can drop off some food without obviously interacting with anyone, staying safe with the quarantine, but giving some homeless people some food, because a lot of people right now don't know where their next meal is coming from. So you could be where their next meal comes from. Or draw something. When we're kids, we draw all the time. We draw sunshine and flowers and rainbows. Draw that for your mom, for your dad, for your grandparents. Send it to them in a text, or put it up on the fridge, or make a FaceTime and have a conversation about it. Calling up your grandma or your grandpa that are in a senior living facility and just doing FaceTime conversation, listening to how their day is going or how they feel. That could be something they would really appreciate. So keeping all that in mind, I created some thank you cards or some miss you cards. All I did was grab some watercolor paper, but you can do this on construction paper. Here's some of my supplies. I put paint on a palette. You can just do that on anything, cardboard box or paper, water bowl, some acrylic paints, some paint brushes, charcoal, and paper to wipe the paint off. And so the first one I created is I miss you, sending you love and hope. This one's going to go to my sister that lives in Colorado. The second one I created is thank you for your hard work and courage. I appreciate you. This one's going to go to the mailman. And this one says, through hard times, just know I'm here. We will stick together and we will overcome. That's going to go to my neighbor. It's just a positive message. You can decorate it however you want. Watercolors are usually the easiest. If you don't have watercolor with you, but you have acrylic paint, all you have to do is put it on the acrylic paint on a different platform or palette. And then with the water, you dilute it, make it lighter, and then you start to paint. The lighter you start, the easier it'll be. And it doesn't have to be perfect for it to send the message of love and hope. And that's being generous with your time and showing them gratefulness for what they have to offer you. So when you think of gratitude and you think of generosity, sometimes it's hard to really think, what can I do right now, other than the ideas I just gave you? So I wrote down a few questions that might help you create your next generous act. So for generosity, what treasures can you give or share with others? It could be something simple, your favorite toy, a sweater your grandma gave you, doing FaceTime and showing her you're wearing it. What does it mean to make a habit of generosity? So if you were generous every single day, how would that impact your life? How would that impact your state of mind and your feelings? Would you be happier? How do you think you would feel about helping someone else? When was the last time you helped someone? How did that make you feel? How did that make them feel? What are some examples of ways you can donate your time? So just like this video here, you can do a FaceTime with your grandmother, your grandfather. You can ask your dad if you can help him fix up the car. You can wash the dishes with your mom. You're donating your time, and it makes a difference. When you are helpful to someone else, how do you think it'll make them feel? Do you think that when you help someone else, holding the door open for them or helping them with a bag, do you think it makes them feel less stressed, more happy, more appreciated? How can you use your talents to help others? Everybody has different talents. Maybe you can sing. I can draw and color. Maybe you're really good at building things. Or maybe you know how to sew and you're good with crafts. Those are all skills you can use right now. If you could team up with others, how can you use your talents to make an impact? So with the quarantine, it's really hard to think of how you can make an impact with a group of people. But if you have, let's say your grandmother in the house, your sister and you all know how to sew, maybe you guys can make masks from home using cloth and donate them to a local homeless shelter. Or maybe you guys can make a funny TikTok and put it up for senior homes and put it on their page so that they all have something to laugh and talk about throughout the day. Think of all the ways you can express generosity. Who are the people that come to mind first that you want to be generous to, or that you think are struggling and they can use some support? How can you use your talent and your generosity to support those people? What can you do? What can you offer them? Going back to gratitude. Gratitude is just you being thankful. When's the last time you were thankful for yourself? Thankful for how smart you are, your talents, for how hard you work, and your character, your honesty. Emotionally checking in with yourself daily, seeing what you're at, emotionally writing that down, what you can do to make yourself feel better, will help you be more grateful because you're taking time to appreciate yourself and how you're feeling. Carving out time for self-care, whether it's getting a massage or painting, if that's what you enjoy, going for a run. Every morning, saying at least 10 things you're grateful for before you even get out of bed. That's a big one. I do that one daily. So I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for my dog. I'm grateful for my husband. Saying all those things, whatever you're grateful for daily before you get out of bed, it'll help ground you and be more stable in what you have in your own life to be thankful for. Journaling is a good way to practice some personal self-gratitude. Saying, I'm proud of you for where you are now and where you're going to be in 10 years. Giving yourself a hand, a leg, a foot massage with some lotion, some oil, and just massaging all your muscles that are building up tension and from all the anxiety and the stress. Or doing a bubble bath. Those are some ways you could do gratitude for yourself. Well, guys, I'm going to be finishing my last one for my neighbor, and then I'm going to cut these out. This one I'm going to mail. This one's going in the mailbox, and this one's going to the neighbor. I hope you guys saw or learned something from today's lesson, something you guys can practice gratitude on or generosity, and you appreciate this video. Thank you.